a Halloween hurricane, dubbed Frankenstorm for its potential monstrous effects, has communities bracing for what could be one of the most ferocious systems to barrel up the eastern seaboard. For the 50 million people who live in the mid-Atlantic and Northeast, roughly 1/6 of the U.S. population, Hurricane Sandy's winds, rains and potential snow could ruin trick-or-treating plans next week. The consensus is that the hurricane, or whatever it morphs into, will make a direct hit Monday or Tuesday somewhere from Virginia to New England, according to Thank You for Trying Verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. AccuWeather meteorologist Jim Furyk. The biggest threats, he says, will be pounding rain and strong winds, which could roar at up to 60 miles per hour. Hurricane Sandy raged through the Bahamas early Friday after leaving 21 people dead across the Caribbean. Sandy, which weakened to a Category 1 hurricane Thursday night, caused havoc in Cuba early in the day, killing 11 people in eastern Santiago and Guantanamo provinces. Sandy also killed one person while crossing Jamaica on Wednesday and 10 in Haiti, where heavy rains from the storm's outer bands caused flooding in the impoverished. Thank You for Trying Verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. And deforested country. Early Friday, the hurricane's center was about 15 miles 25 kilometers east-southeast of Great Abaco Island in the Bahamas and 485 miles 780 kilometers south-southeast of Charleston, SC, and was moving northeast at 13 miles per hour 20 kilometers per hour with maximum sustained winds near 80 miles per hour 130 kilometers per hour. A new tropical storm watch was issued early Friday for a section of the U.S. East Coast extending from Savannah, GA, northward to North Carolina's Outer Banks. Sandy, which crossed Cuba and reached the Bahamas as a Category 2 hurricane, was expected to maintain its Thank You for Trying Verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Category 1 storm status for the next few days. Tropical storm conditions were possible for Florida's southeastern coast, the Upper Keys and Florida Bay by Friday morning. Hurricane Sandy was expected to churn through the central and northwest Bahamas by Friday afternoon and then head northward off the U.S. coast. With storm conditions projected to hit New Jersey with tropical storm force winds Tuesday, there was a 90% chance that most of the U.S. East Coast would get steady gale force winds, flooding, heavy rain and maybe snow starting Sunday and stretching past Wednesday. U.S. forecaster Jim Cisco. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased, said. In an announcement at the end of Cuba's Thursday night newscast, Cuban authorities said the island's 11 dead included a 4-month-old boy who was crushed when his home collapsed and an 84-year-old man in Santiago province. There were no reports of injuries at the U.S. naval base at Guantanamo Bay in Cuba. In Florida, officials say they don't expect flooding but have already warned residents to stock up on supplies and be prepared for several days without power. We encourage people to have enough food, water, medicines, flashlights and batteries. Thank You for Trying Verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Things to take care of yourself for at least 72 hours, said Brian Kuhn, director of Florida's Division of Emergency Management. The high winds would extend inland, Weather Channel meteorologist Chris Dolce says, with the potential for downed trees and power lines. Power outages could last 4 days, Dolce says, and there could be just enough cold air to produce wet snow, possibly heavy, in some parts of the central Appalachian Mountains of West Virginia and Pennsylvania. Petco, the electric company that provides service to Washington, D.C., and parts of Maryland, has already activated Thank You for Trying Verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Emergency teams and begun scheduling workers who might have to assess damage, restore power, and coordinate with other power companies in the region, spokesman Marcus Beal said. We're already making plans and working as if this is an definite event, he said. Officials in places like Pennsylvania, New Jersey and Massachusetts are monitoring the storm and getting prepared in case people need emergency supplies, volunteers, or shelters. We want to make sure we are connecting with everybody and that we will have a game plan in place if the storm requires us to respond, said Paul Shipman, a spokesman. Thank You for Trying Verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. For the American Red Cross in Connecticut and Rhode Island. He added that they've already called volunteers to make sure they are ready to move if needed. Red Cross will work with local media, local towns, and use its social media outlets to get the word out about the storm, Shipman said. He encouraged iPhone and Android users to download the Red Cross Hurricane app as well. Several East Coast residents and business owners said Thursday that they weren't making any major plans just yet. Randall Anderson, the dock master at Thank You for Trying Verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Inlet Marina in Melbourne, Flip, said he plans to secure the boats and take down the paper ghosts lining his home's fence. I'm going to take down the Halloween decorations since we're expecting 50 mph gusts, he said. I'm not in panic mode. I've lived here all my life. This is what we do. Meanwhile, landfall Monday along the mid-Atlantic coast, as predicted by two of the weather models, would likely be a billion-dollar disaster, according to Weather Underground meteorologist Jeff Masters. Additionally, Masters reminds that the full moon is on Monday, which means astronomical thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Tides will be at their peak for the month, increasing potential storm surge flooding. What's creating this monster? The combination of Hurricane Sandy and another storm over the eastern USA, writes meteorologist James Sisko of the Hydrometeorological Prediction Center in an online report. The winds from Sandy, Sisko writes, will be incorporated into a hybrid vortex over the mid-Atlantic and Northeast next Tuesday. This unusual merger should settle back toward the interior Northeast through Halloween, inviting perhaps a ghoulish nickname for the cyclone along the lines of Frankenstorm, an allusion to Mary Shelley's Thank You for Trying Verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Gothic creature of synthesized elements.